Namaste everyone, welcome to the class. My name is Michelle. Now just make sure you're sitting in a comfortable cross-legged position. It's resting with the forefinger and thumb gently touching. And closing down the eyes. Beginning to focus on the breath. Beginning to make the breath a little softer, perhaps a little deeper. And then begin to practice our complete yoga breath. Inhaling lower, middle, upper part of the lungs. And exhaling upper, middle and lower. You might like to place one hand around the navel area and the other hand with the fingertips around the collarbone. As you inhale, you really feel the belly expand, ribs broaden. It's a slight lift to the collarbone. And exhaling, releasing the breath to the upper chest, relaxing the ribs, and perhaps drawing the belly gently towards the spine. So once again, inhaling lower, middle and upper lungs, and exhaling upper, middle and lower. And just continue practicing a complete yoga breath. Using the full capacity of our lungs. Just remember during the class this morning, always move slowly with awareness, stay focused, keep within your own comfort level, and remembering you can always rest, stop and rest whenever you need. Taking a couple more complete yoga breaths, and then gently opening the eyes, returning to normal breathing. And just come back, lying along your mat. So begin with some gentle stretches. So as you inhale, take the arms above the head, pointing down with the toes. And exhale, lowering the arms and stretching away with the heels. Once again, inhaling, lengthening from fingertips to toes. And exhaling. And just once more. How important it is to stretch. And exhaling. And with the palms flat on the mat, we'll do some alternate leg movements. As you inhale, lifting the right leg towards the ceiling. And then gently lower. And the left. And lower. Working with your breath, inhaling as you lift, and exhaling as you lower. And then when you're ready, we introduce an arm movement. When the right leg goes up, left arm can go back. And left leg, right arm. Try and make the movement really soft and flowing. If you need, you can have a gentle bend in the knee. And when you think you're even on both sides, just lowering that arm and leg. And drawing the right knee into the chest, having just below the knee. As you exhale, gently draw the knee a little closer to the chest. And then releasing the hands, we'll do some circles on the side. And then reverse. Make sure your left leg is still active down the mat. And drawing the knee close once again. If you like, drawing the nose towards the knee, lifting the shoulders and head off the mat. And then lower. And then we'll go to the opposite side. So as you exhale, drawing the knee a little closer to the chest. And then releasing the hands. We'll do some circles on this side. And then reverse. Drawing the belly in as you exhale, drawing the knee in close. And drawing the knee into the chest once more. And nose to knee. And then release. And let's draw the knees up over the chest. Once again with the palms facing down, we'll do a cycling motion with the legs. Pushing the heels away. If you find it a little challenging, you might like to tuck the hands just under the buttocks. It's a little easier to cycle up towards the ceiling. Or if you like some challenge, bring the legs in more parallel to the mat. And then reverse. And then lowering the feet. And then just drawing the heels in closer to the buttocks. Checking that the feet are about hip width apart. Reaching the fingers down so you can perhaps almost touch the heels. We'll move into the rolling bridge. So as you inhale, gently peeling the spine off the mat. And exhaling lower. Once again, just repeating that a few times. So gently warming up the spine. Check that your knees are tracking straight ahead. Might need to check the position of your feet. They should be parallel. And just once more. And then we're taking the feet now as wide as the mat, so a bit wider than hip width. Taking the arms out at shoulder level. Inhaling, as you exhale, gently lowering the knees down to the left. Turning the head to the right just increases that twist a little further. Inhaling to centre, and exhaling, releasing the knees to the right. Let's continue working with your breath. As always, working with the breath just helps to slow the movements down. Really focus on what's happening in our body. And back to centre. Bring the arms back towards the body, knees over the chest, hug the knees, gently rocking from side to side. Gently softening the lower back. And then either rolling over to your right side and pushing yourself up, or perhaps if you like crossing the ankles, maybe rolling up to a sitting position and coming over onto all fours. Let's just check that your hands are directly under the shoulders, knees are directly under the hips. And we'll begin working our cat-cow, so lifting the sternum, lifting the chin as you look up. And exhaling, drawing the spine up to the ceiling, and relaxing the head down between the arms. Inhaling into cow, and exhaling into cat. And then back to neutral. Now we're going to take the right arm and thread it behind the left. If you can, drawing the shoulder, the side of the face down to the mat. So check how your body feels here. If you like, you might want to place your left hand on the hip, or perhaps reaching up towards the ceiling. Or if you're really comfortable in this position, maybe taking the hand right around and see if you can place it on your
top of your right thigh. You're only breathing into the upper part of the lungs here, so it's quite a shallow breath. And then release, untwisting, pushing yourself back up, and gently hump the spine. Scoop. To neutral. This time threading the left hand behind the right, drawing the left shoulder down towards the mat. Remember, you can always use a rolled up blanket or perhaps a block to rest the side of the head or the shoulder on. Let's pause here for a moment, see how it feels. Perhaps taking the right hand now to the hip, and reaching up towards the ceiling, or perhaps twisting all the way behind and placing the left hand on the thigh. Need a couple of breaths here. And then gently unwinding, pushing yourself back up. Once again, just gently hump the spine. And then scoop. And now we'll move into pigeon. So just take the hands forward about one hand length. And then drawing the right knee behind the right wrist. So you'll need to step back with the left foot, and if you can, really drawing that the right lower leg a little further up the mat. Remembering, you can always tuck a block under the right buttock if you need, and as always, trying to keep the hips level, parallel with the front of the mat. If you're comfortable here, perhaps bending the back leg, reaching behind, and drawing that heel a little closer towards you. And release. And if you like, coming down to the elbows, or perhaps resting the forehead on the back of the hands. So as your body relaxes into this position, keep stepping the back toe back a little further. Just drawing the right lower leg further up the mat. And taking a couple of breaths here. And then slowly coming up into our pigeon once again. This time letting that right hip, right buttock come down, swing the back leg around, placing the sole of the foot close to the hips, so really drawing that foot back. And bring that right heel close to the buttock as well. So checking that you're on your sitting bones. And you take the right arm, drawing that knee close across the centre line of the body. Fingertips behind, inhaling. As you exhale, twisting from the lower, middle, and upper part of the spine. Turning the thighs and the head last. You can use your fingertips to perhaps help you just twist another millimetre or two around. And then release. Slowly coming back to the front. And then we'll take that leg behind again. We'll change sides, so this time drawing the left knee behind the left wrist. Once again, wriggling around, getting your position, stepping back the right foot. Perhaps drawing that lower leg further up the mat. And then if you're able, perhaps bending the back leg and drawing that heel a little closer. And then release. Coming down onto the elbows perhaps. Maybe resting the forehead on the back of the hands. Once again, as you relax into it, stepping the back toes back a little further. And taking some long, slow breaths here. And very slowly coming back up. And releasing that left hip down now. Swinging the back leg around, getting ready for our twist. So drawing the chest here a little closer to the buttocks, and hugging the knee with your left arm, drawing it across the centre line of the body. Right fingertips behind, inhaling and exhaling, twisting to the right. It's like you're going up a spiral staircase, so bottom, the middle, and the top of the spine. Once again, perhaps you can twist around a little further. And then release, slowly unwinding. Taking that leg behind. Let's just come back towards the back of the mat. And sitting with the big toes touching and the knees as wide as your mat. And sitting back on the heels and slowly walking the hands forward. Once you're at full extension, lowering the head, the forehead to rest on the mat. Make sure you're keeping the arms off the mat, it's just the hands and the fingers that are stretched wide. Lifting the head, walking the hands back towards you. Taking the hands forward once again. Lifting the hips, tucking the toes. Let's swing back into a downward dog. Keeping the knees bent for the moment. Fingers are spread wide with the middle finger pointing straight ahead. Let's draw in one heel down, then the other. You can draw both heels down towards the mat. And lifting the head, making small steps towards the hands. Very slowly coming up, taking the arms wide. And bring hands to heart. Let's just recenter the breath again here. Closing down the eyes. Revisit our complete yoga breath. And releasing the hands. Now we're so centered, perhaps coming up into a balance. So spreading the toes of the left foot, going with the toes of the right. And when you're ready, taking the sole of the foot to the ankle. And then drawing it up, either to the calf, perhaps the inner thigh. If it's anywhere near your knee, just take a lot of care. Arms wide. And that magical spot on the floor to help you balance. And then release. Sticking the knees, releasing any tension. To the other side, so putting the toes to the right. Gives you that little bit of extra surface area on the floor. And the toes of the left foot. And then when you're ready, drawing the sole of the foot, inner thigh, calf, arms wide. And then release. Once again, dipping the knees if you need. So, making sure you're at the front of the mat. Okay, inhale. And exhale, just swan dive down. Inhale, coming up. And exhale. Once again. Exhale, swan dive down. Big step back with the right foot. Knee down into a low lunge. And the left foot back. And we'll come into a knee coming up to a baby cobra, keeping the elbows bent. And exhale, lower. Tucking the toes, pushing back into down dog. Once again, checking the position of your feet, making sure they're hip width apart, and the fingers are spread, as I said before, middle finger pointing straight ahead. A big step forward with the right foot, and then the left. Inhale, take the arms wide, a gentle back bend, and bring hands to heart. Let's take a breath here. Inhale. And exhale, swan dive down. Big step back, the left foot. And then the right. And come into that leaning, kneeling plank once again. And all the way down to the mat. Inhaling, come up into our baby cobra. And exhale, lower. Tucking the toes, pushing back into down dog. It's a resting pose. And big step back, big step forward rather with the left foot. And the right. And inhaling, take the arms wide. And bring hands to heart. And taking a breath here. Inhale and exhale, swan dive down. Let's take a big step back with the right and the left, coming into down dog. Take a big step forward with the right foot, lowering the back, knee, take the arms forward, and sink into crescent moon. Checking the shoulders are relaxed. Palms are facing. Maybe sink down a little lower. You can either look up towards the hands, or perhaps looking straight ahead. And then let's bring hands to heart. Inhale. Let's exhale, twisting to the right. See if you can hook that elbow outside of the knee. Last little challenge, maybe tucking the back toe and perhaps straightening that back leg. And then lower, centre, and then just walk the toes out and into the right. And then lowering the torso, you can perhaps lean on rest on a block, or if you can, coming down a little lower into lizard pose with the forearms down to the mat. Just taking a breath here. Inhaling, coming up. Just drawing that foot back in. And if you can, perhaps drawing the hips back. Inhaling and exhaling over that extended leg. And lifting the head, tucking the back toe, stepping forward, arms wide as you come up, and bring hands to heart. Inhale, swan dive down, big step back with the left, and the right, so coming to our down dog once again. And then step forward with the left foot, lowering the back knee, top of the foot flat, the arms forward, and sinking down into our crescent moon. So check you've got enough space between the knee and the foot. If you find it hard to balance, just try moving the foot out a little. Otherwise the palms are facing, as I've said, keeping the shoulders relaxed. And so you can sink down a little further. And then bring your hands to heart. Inhale. As you exhale, twisting to the left this time. Check that your chest isn't collapsing down onto the knees, so really lifting the chest up. Opening keeping the left elbow up high. And if you do so before, perhaps tucking the back toe And straighten that leg. And lowering the back knee, lowering the back foot, coming back to centre, and walking that left foot out a little further. So both arms are inside the leg. And then gently relaxing the elbows. Perhaps coming down to the forearms if you're comfortable. Let's take a couple of breaths here. In your head, walking that foot back in, and then once again drawing the hips back, straightening that leg. As you exhale, a gentle forward fold. In the head, tucking the back toe, stepping forward, and exhaling into a forward fold. And inhale, coming up, taking the arms wide. And bring hands to heart. How are you going? Just take a breath here. Let's inhale, exhale. Take a big step back to the right. So we're moving into some warrior poses here. So checking your back foot is angled in. Keep coming up with your front knee bent, milling that right arm around, and sinking down into warrior two. So look down and check that this knee isn't rolling in. Should be going out towards the little toe side of the foot. The armpits are over the hips. So you can sink down a little lower. Might want to check that back arm is where you think. And turning the palm to the ceiling. Let's reach back into exalted warrior. And then lower, taking the left elbow, top of the thigh, and reaching the arm up to the ceiling. Perhaps reaching over the ear, an extended side angle. And then lowering that arm, bringing the hand to the hip, and taking the fingertips down to the mat, really opening the chest. If you'd like to go a little further into bound pose, so taking that shoulder even further down in front of that knee. So you can take the arm behind, right arm behind, and see if you can join hands. So if you have managed to join your hands, make sure you're opening up the chest. And then release. Let's just push back up into warrior two for a moment. Moving the back hand around. Lifting the back foot. And then stepping the right foot forward. Inhaling, coming up. And bringing hands to heart. Ready to go to the other side. Inhale, exhale, swan dive down. Big step back with the left. Looking down, angling the back foot in a little, and coming up into warrior two. Once again, checking the position of your feet. Check the knees are rolling in. And gazing over the right fingertips. Breath here, sinking down a little lower, and taking the palm up to the ceiling, reaching back to exalted warrior, and then lower, bringing the elbow to the top of the thigh, and reaching over to extended side angle. Make sure your head isn't collapsing down, so the head should be more in line with the arm. And lowering that extended arm going to hip. And perhaps bring the fingertips down to the mat. so before, perhaps tucking that shoulder down as low as you can. Twisting the arm behind and see if you can join hands. So as always, just take any option that works best for you in any of the poses. And then release. Pushing back up into warrior two. And then windmilling that back arm around. Pivoting the back foot. Stepping forward. Inhale. Taking the arms wide. And bringing hands to heart. And then taking the feet a little wider. You're going to come up onto the toes, the balls of the feet first of all. And then coming down into a squat. Lowering the heels. Resting here for a moment. Being aware of the really grounding nature of this pose. You can use the elbows just to draw the knees out a little further. And then release. Just extend both legs first of all. Checking once again you're in sitting bones, you might need to pull some of the extra flesh away. And then drawing the right sole of the foot into the inner thigh. And inhale and exhale, coming down. Just do this dynamically a couple of times before we hold. As you exhale, aiming to reach forward rather than down. And once again, inhaling and exhaling. And this time we'll hold. So wherever your hands reach, your ankle or foot, calf, once you're down, releasing the head and neck. And take 3 long, slow breaths here. And lifting the head, walking the hands back up the leg. Let's change sides, so bring the left foot in. Once again, making sure you're in your sitting bones. Inhaling and exhaling, coming forward. And coming up. Exhaling. Small. And then this time we'll hold. Taking those 3 long, slow breaths. And lifting the head, walking the hands back up the leg, and straightening that leg. And just bending the knees. You're going to slide the right foot underneath the left, behind it, and stacking the left knee on top of the right. So getting ready for our cow face pose. So aiming to stack the knees, drawing the soles of the feet, rolling them back towards the ceiling is what we're aiming to do. I'm going to raise the right arm and exhale, bending the elbow, gently drawing the fingertips down between the shoulder blades. Reaching around with the left and seeing if the fingertips can join. So as always, you can use a prop, a strap or belt or something to help you join up. Almost drawing the upper elbow back, lower elbow forward. Making sure the head and neck is really nice and relaxed. Try to smile. then release. Unwind. Roll the shoulders perhaps if you need. And untwisting the legs. And this time we'll go the other side, so taking the left, sliding behind the right, and stacking the right knee on top of the left. Wriggling around so you're sitting evenly on the sitting bones, and rolling the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. Raising the left arm, and then bending the elbow, and gently encouraging those fingers down towards the mat. Reaching it right arm around, and see if you can join up any differently on this side. So once again, drawing the upper elbow back, lower elbow forward, opening the chest. Ensure the head and neck are nice and relaxed. And we just smile because we really like this pose. And then release. Let's get rolling the shoulders if you need. That's interlinking the fingers. Let's push the palms away. And then release. So untwisting the legs, coming up onto the knees, and checking that your knees are about hip width apart. And tucking the toes. And look back. Taking the right hand to the right heel and realigning the hips. And then inhaling and up. As you exhale, you're drawing the hips forward. You can either keep the head upright or let the head relax, head and neck relax back as well. As always, just stay in any of the poses as long as you're comfortable. Coming out whenever you need. And taking the left hand to the hip, very slowly coming up. Drawing the chin to the chest. And we'll go to the other side, so left hand to the heel. Once again, realigning the hips. And taking the arm up. As you exhale, releasing back. Once again, really drawing the hips forward just a little. Feel the chest opening in this pose. And then hand to hip, very slowly coming forward. Over the toes. We're very slowly coming down. This should feel nice. Either resting the forehead on two stacked fists, or perhaps coming all the way down into child's pose. Arms beside the body, palms facing up. Once again, taking some long, slow breaths here. And very slowly coming up. Resting the back of the hands on the thighs for a moment. So that circulation in and out. And coming back. Sitting with the knees bent. Arms just behind the thighs. Coming up to the toes first of all. Taking the toes off the mat. And then one arm forward, other. And raising the legs a little into boat pose. And lowering the feet as you exhale into a forward fold. And taking hands back under the hips. And just roll back into spinal roll. Back into our boat pose. Into our forward fold. And just do that sequence a few times. So it's boat, forward fold,
once more. And coming back up. So we're just coming to a half shoulder stand now. So laying back with the knees bent first of all. Drawing the knees up over the chest. You can either do the easier version with the block just tucked under the buttocks. Otherwise, rolling the hips up. Resting the hands, the hips in the hands. And pushing away with the balls of the feet. Once you're up, remembering not to move your head or neck. You might like to do some leg movements, maybe bring the soles of the feet together and bending the knees. Or perhaps taking one toe behind you, the mat behind, to a half plough. Or if you're comfortable, maybe both. Moving into a full plough. Let's take a few breaths here. Remember, you're always lifting up in half shoulder stand as gravity draws you down. And then when you're ready to come down, drawing the knees back down to the chest. Taking the arms out, palms facing down, and then really slowly, just one vertebra at a time, going slowly down to the mat, and resting with the knees bent. And we'll just take the spine in the opposite direction. Coming up first of all to the elbows. I need to wriggle around a little with this fish pose. Lifting the chest up high, and then drawing the crown of the head down so it just rests on the mat. And taking the spine in the opposite direction. And very slowly releasing the head down and resting for a moment. And straightening the legs. We'll just finish with a spinal twist. So placing the right foot on top of the left thigh. Just shifting the hips a little to the right first of all. Taking the arms out at shoulder level. Inhale. As you exhale, releasing the knee down to the left. Perhaps turning the head, looking down the right arm. If you like, you can increase the twist, placing that left hand very gently on the knee. Just for a little extra pressure, a little extra twist. Inhale into centre. Realigning the hips, straightening that leg. And then go to the other side, so the left foot on top of the right thigh. Flicking the hips a little to the left. Inhaling and exhaling to the right. Turning the head to the left. Placing that right hand on the knee. Bend the right knee now as well, and rolling onto your right side, pushing yourself up to a seated position. Sitting comfortable cross-legged. And once again, let's just return to our complete yoga breath. So once again, fingertip, thumb touching closing down the eyes. Once again, focusing on the breath. Inhaling lower, middle, upper lungs. Exhaling upper, middle and lower. Reflecting on how you feel. You're feeling more relaxed, calmer. Bring your hands to heart. Namaste everyone. Thank you, and I hope to see you again soon.